MBO yet to figure out that the match start also pings hype.
You told me that earlier, but I'm still going to do it anyway.
Well, maybe he'll figure it out in 5 years.
It's tradition.
Okay.
You are the tradition, the person.
So we'll be starting on Ashburn, looks like.
Mega is going to be the first pick, so yep, going to be Ashburn for game 1. Recording is live. We have Challenger Division Jacob versus Wilchz. Wilchz coming in here today as the top seed, but both of these players have the exact same match record and set record. So this match has some pretty important stakes for their jostling for positions in the standings of Challenger.
Absolutely. Our first match is going to be on Megas. What are your expectations for this match?
Definitely a good pick into Wilchz. Wilchz is someone that hates the blast meta, doesn't really like using those. Jacob, not really the player to, abuse blast and punish that kind of vulnerability, but he is very good at the map megas, and he was saying in college just before this that Wilchz is a good person to pick megas against because everyone else in Challenger that's good at blast will punish him for being good at traversing megas by using the blast, obviously, but Wilchz might not do that nearly as much. And so he's feeling confident on this one.
Absolutely. I will say, as of late, I feel like Wilchz has been doing a lot better with the blast than he has in the past. So we'll be interested to see how well the both of them do on this map.
Yep, we are getting underway here for game 1 of what is hopefully going to be another great series today, which is off for the super speed off the line. Beautifully done off the trim there to grab the yellow, but Jacob has the Ultra Blast ready to go. And Wilchz is pretty early.
There's no shortage of Ultra Blasts on this map, however, so Wilchz uses his own, doesn't manage to do anything to Jacob there. And
Wilchz wanted to get that last red, but maybe for his best interest that didn't actually happen. Now both players are going to come up to the top here. Wilchz having to use his blast just to get the height, but he is going to win the spawn, pick up another Ultra Blast, knock Jacob back, but it is kind of the direction that Jacob would want it to be going anyway, back towards the center of the map. And he already has a super speed ready. Can he launch off? No, he's going to get stuck on the rug. Wilchz should be able to get this blue, no problem. Jacob didn't feel like he had the patience available to just run up to the rug normally and launch like Wilchz did. Another big blue.
So we have another blue. Wilchz with the gyrocopter should be first to the spawn. Jacob also with the gyrocopter, but he's going to be pretty far behind. He's going to opt to try to get both yellows. Only manages to get the one, and he shares it with Wilchz as well. So
yeah, good line there from Wilchz getting the blue and jumping up for the yellow. We saw that a bit earlier when Megas was played. Jacob ahead to this spawn, getting a little bit of a rough bounce off of the trim bridge, but still able to maybe come out slightly ahead on that spawn. Wilchz not seeming to realize that the next spawn has occurred, getting confused
goes
with
for
those
the expired instead.
Yeah, Jacob wins that spawn pretty handily. Has the gyrocopter ready to go as well. Wilchz gets stuck with the mega, and this is going to be another big spawn for Jacob.
He had the opportunity to mega Jacob right in the air as he was flying away, but he didn't quite notice it in time.
Which is wise to leave that last red there. Next one going to be quite close to Jacob. Uses the super speed despite the very close proximity. So far looks like Jacob is getting an advantage. Super jump for Jacob should be able to make this no problem, but saves it for later. Interesting he didn't just go for the super jump blast to make it there. Wilchz screwed up big time,
Wilchz did not make up.
Yeah, this should have been an easy spawn take for Wilchz. A little bit of a fumble there, didn't quite see what happened.
Oh, Jacob uses the gyrocopter and Wilchz megas him away, and that's going to give him just about this entire spawn.
Yeah,
Jacob gets the yellow.
Small lead. Gets the Ultra Blast. Jacob needs to get out of here before that mega collides. What's going to happen? Will they make contact? Barely no. Wilchz in the air. Almost made that work. Would have hit the edge, and Jacob with a very suspicious trim super speed. Jacob gets the blue, and going to pick up some of these expired.
Hey, Jacob got that on the way up with the blast. It was incredibly well done.
Misses the super speed, so another blue is going to go over to Jacob. That's 2 apiece now for the both of them.
Okay, blast, but it doesn't.
Oh, Jacob gets stuck in a very bad spot. This is going to be points for Wilchz. bringing this game back closer to that tie that we were seeing for a lot
Jacob,
of it. Oh, interesting.
considering the last red, but
I've never
well done
seen
to go
someone
grab
take that gyrocopter.
Yeah. I'm just gonna leave. So we never have another blue.
Oh,
Wilchz,
no, Wilchz.
doesn't edge hit, and
That's so
it's not gonna get
unfortunate.
the blue there. Yeah, Jacob has been opting to just use the super speed to try to get there quicker and not launch off of the rug.
Yeah. Pretty much everyone else at his level is going to be using this rug to launch off. It's very consistent if you have the Ultra Blast ready to go. Which just knocks Jacob away there while managing to share the yellow, I think, so that wasn't bad.
Yeah, I believe they
Jacob
still
with
share
another
that.
very early pre-gyro, and probably
Got
with
the-
the super jump. Can he nail this?
Super jump?
The answer is no,
he
and the
doesn't.
window
He falls
is
down
open.
too.
Wait, that's huge
Lands
for
on the
Wilchz.
gyrocopter. Very good, though.
Massive game by Wilchz, and there's a blue
We have
right
a
here.
repeat
What's
blue.
Jacob gonna do? It's Wilchz that gets it
Wilchz
uncontested.
takes the lead.
Game is tied. Now 1 point for Jacob grabbing that yellow. This is going to be anyone's game here. Jacob maybe going to throw from a massive lead off of that blue that he missed.
Jacob just a little bit late on the blast. Wilchz is still able to get that yellow.
Jacob
So he
falls.
falls
This
off
is
going for the blast, maybe?
new lease of life for Wilchz here. Can Jacob get these yellows in an efficient manner? It's a very tricky pole
He
dance to
does.
do, but he did it beautifully.
Grabs the...
This next line going to be very important.
Jacob's going to be a little bit ahead. It's a very awkward angle for Wilchz
can't
here. He
stick
falls
the land.
off,
Wait,
but
where's
so does
Jacob?
Jacob.
What happened to Jacob? That's going to be the game for Wilchz unless a miracle happens. There's still 10 seconds
there's
running out.
10
Jacob
seconds.
knows there's nothing he can do. Yeah, just accept
Wow.
the defeat. What happened to Jacob in this game? It was looking so good for him, but Wilchz mounts an unbelievable comeback to win this one by just under 10 points.
And that double blue on the little tower thing really swung the momentum in favor of Wilchz.
Crazy match as we go over to Hillsborough. Jacob has been on the sour end of some heartbreaking games, I must say. Looks like Ouija Maelstrom is already occupying the Hillsborough server.
Go.
Jacob saying he couldn't see the spawn.
That is very unfortunate for the last spawn of the game.
He falls. He's going to be able to pick up these last two reds. 20 seconds left. So let's see what kind of score he can set here on Triple Trail. Going into the cannon, this is a smart idea to get to the Orange Island, but it's not a very high value spawn. I have to see if he routes for the blast here. Does not do so. The teleporters are available. Maybe he can get one more point, but it's going to be a far one. Uses the super jump early, and he's not going to have any time to get it. That is going to be a 114 for Ouija on Triple Trail.
That goes in the video, right?
Oh yeah, we're still recording.
It does.
Good.
Okay, let's see what the next pick is going to be here. We'll just pick.
Wilchz will go for Gems in the Road. We're waiting for him to join the lobby. There he is. You are the host, Shadow Visions.
Yep. Have you had the chance to play Wilchz on Gems in the Road?
I have not. Or I think I actually have played maybe 1 or 2 games against him. I think he's pretty decent at this map. He knows about defaulting for the Mega Marble, and also is pretty good with Blast on this map as well. So.
Yeah, Wilchz is pretty good at dominating control of the Mega Marble, I've found. We're going to have to see if he can do that. From the Gems in the Road games we've seen so far, it seems to be the preferred default in the higher level of play, just sit on that Mega.
Ready. Set.
So
Go.
our first spawn is going to be this all red spawn. They both split it.
Jacob, great
and
position
Jacob
for
can
the
go
slide.
quick. Yeah. Rebounds off the wall and is a little bit ahead on this spawn too. Wilchz is opting to go for the gyrocopter, but that's going to leave him a little bit behind on this spawn. But he will be able to recover with the gyrocopter and the blast, getting to this one a bit quicker.
Yeah, will Jacob go for the last with a pre-gyro? He is, but the next spawn's right next to Wilchz. Jacob's going to need to find a way to go for the yellow, but instead Wilchz blasts him. Very nicely done. Going to even go back for the blast default. This is great positioning there for Wilchz. But Jacob again
Another
has the
great
position
slide
ready
spot.
for the slide. That's going to be very fortunate for him.
See if Wilchz will leave the yellow. He will, and it's a good spawn for Jacob.
Blast coming in for
Wilchz goes to a
Wilchz.
blast
That's
and
gonna
barely manages
give
to.
Jacob a super speed that he can get back with. Which is going to, again, get the blast default. Jacob sees the opportunity to go for the leftover yellow. That's going to extend the lead to 12, which is quite significant. Oh, the mega!
Great mega marble from
Insane mega
Jacob.
from Jacob, as we see the E-Guy trim in this area of the map. Oh, wow.
Interesting idea with the super speed into the super
I've
jump to
never
get those last two jumps.
Seen anyone even think about doing that. Very nice from Jacob. And Jacob looking very dominant on this Wilchz pick so far, doubling the score, despite Wilchz having some great blast prep.
Another pre-gyro. Gonna have an
That's gonna
awkward
be
angle
hard.
for the slide spawn.
He made
He
it
gets
work.
one of the gems, but
Yeah, if Wilchz
think
was a
Wilchz
bit
still got the
slower, that would
majority
have been
of
a
that.
great play from Jacob, but Wilchz is very good at getting there in time.
so you can get the super speed. Looks like Wilchz is gonna get it all for himself. That's gonna get him to this next spawn much quicker.
Yeah, bit of an interesting
Able
prisoner's
to grab the
dilemma
blast
there
as
with the
well.
last red going down that big slope, and Wilchz was the beneficiary. Good
Use
blast.
the blast to secure these last couple reds.
Yeah, we're gonna be looking
And
at the
Jacob goes for
stats,
the
and Wilchz is gonna have like 3 times as many Ultra Blast pickups as Jacob.
It's another great blast from him
phenomenal
there.
blast there from Wilchz, and he started to close this up. It was 40 to 20, but now it's looking like more 60 to 50. Wilchz comes
Goes
in.
for the mega marble and hits him.
Oh, Jacob with a massive Mega Marble swing there onto
Not the
Wilchz.
great mega.
Yeah, it's gonna give him not that many points, but it was a very good play in our hearts. Loving this pre-gyro from him.
He's been doing really good with the chaining of the power-ups for the next spawn.
Yeah,
Jacob has been.
doesn't quite land
This
the
is blast, not
blast.
quite up with it.
Yeah, Wilchz wins that spawn by a little bit. Jacob did manage to get the yellow. It gets a lot
no
of airtime.
Wilchz with no power-up. But
Wilchz trying to maybe land an Ultra Blast here. He is going to go back and default for that one. Spawn is at the bottom. Wilchz is probably going to get most of that. And the blast actually knocks Jacob back onto the platform. There's still 2 minutes to go here. Plenty of time for this game to turn.
Wilchz hit his head with that super jump.
That's going to be good
But-
for Jacob then, but this spawn should just be a 50-50 split. Jacob pops the Mega early. Should be in good position for this next spawn.
Grabs the gyrocopter and gets the yellow and is going to win on this spawn by about 1 point.
I believe Wilchz has Ultra Blast here. Gonna have to see how he uses it on Jacob. Looks like he actually had to use it for traversal. Good spawn for Wilchz again. This lead
Wilchz has
continues
brought it back
be cut
to
into.
4 points. Or 5 points. Just
Oh,
about.
Wilchz doesn't
Ooh,
make it up, and
falls
Jacob
off.
does. That's gonna bring us back to about 10 points. Dropping down for the
Very
last thing.
smart
It's a
respawn
slide
from
spawn
him.
right next to Wilchz. This game is as good as tied. Oh, but Jacob.
So we have another
cut the
slide spawn. Jacob's right there. Can maybe
Yep.
get this one too.
This is how gems in the road can be sometimes. Very swingy. If you're closest to the spawn, you probably get the entire thing. He's gonna pick up that, and
We
it's
have
right
another
next to
close
both
spawn.
players. Which is coming in with the Mega, hoping for another slide spawn. Not gonna be the case, but it's not that bad until he falls. Jacob laps up the whole thing.
He's got the super jump that'll help him get up to the next spawn much quicker.
Yep, Jacob can even go as far as to get the super speed and prep for that one, but Wilchz is going to take the opportunity to cut him off. Next spawn is close for Wilchz, but Jacob
Wilchz
using the
hits his
super
head
speed. Jacob falls, but the respawn is going to be quite favorable for him.
They
10
both missed
points.
that red initially. 10 points, yeah.
Now 9. Jacob arriving at the spawn first. Gonna take a miracle for Wilchz to turn this one around. Has to pick up every single red. Next spawn is close, but Wilchz doesn't have any means of disrupting Jacob. Jacob going to find the gyrocopter into the slide. He's not going to be in the contention for any more points here, but it looks like Wilchz is not going to have the points that he needs to tie
He's gonna
this
get
one
1
up.
point. Within 1 point, if he can get these last two, it's a good spawn.
Next spawn, not quite close enough. Very, very close game in the end, but Jacob is able to tie us up at 1-1. Both players winning on each other's picks.
Wow, incredibly close match at the end there. Wilchz did a great job of clawing back to make it at least a close match, but Jacob, excellent power-up prep throughout that match. I noticed throughout that game.
Rip the stats. It didn't work because Ouija was in the server, I think.
Oh, rip.
Would have been very interesting to see if Jacob was indeed closer to the average spawn after Wilch's little accusation there. Vibrancy Grounds is the pick from Jacob. This is a little bit of a niche map.
Mhm.
And this was, I believe, one that he asked to play with GG Jacob a little while ago when they were playing some warm-up games.
Mhm.
So, clearly something he's been thinking about for Wilchz. I definitely can appreciate the pick.
Mhm. It's one that's also, it's fairly sparse on the power-ups, so it's one that if Jacob can continue to get good power-up prep, I think he should be able to take this one.
Wilchz was very good at the blast prep, though, in that match. You have to see if he can figure out where the Ultra Blasts are here. There's one up top, and there's one over by the cannon.
So we have a bathroom break for Jacob first before we start this match.
This could be a very intense series between these two.
Absolutely. We'll say it has kind of looked like the nerves have been getting to Wilchz a bit more. So if this series goes on further and further, we'll see how that continues to impact him.
Yeah, Wilchz was able to win on Jacob's pick, though, so you would think there would be some confidence under his belt. Nerves can really make you pay the price on Vibrancy Grounds, though. Jacob going to go for the yellow. Wilchz is already defaulting, taking the Mega off the map and then also taking the Super Speed. Next spawn you would prefer to have the Mega. You use the bumper to get out. I like that from Wilchz. Discovering that Super Speeds don't work too well on friction.
Yeah. Jacob falling off, but it's not going to end up needing too much.
Big
We have our first blue. See if Jacob
Wilchz
notices
has the Super Speed.
chunk.
Oh no, Wilchz. Jacob with a
This is-
beautiful line there to get that blue. And jumps
So we have
off
a repeat
early.
spawn. Wilchz stays up there.
It's
Should
low
be able to get-
value, but he will be able to get this plus get the time for the Ultra Blast. Can he punish Jacob with it? The answer is no. Jacob with a good recovery. And this time Jacob snags the Ultra Blast. This could be very important. He has the super jump line. Wilchz has to climb up the grass here. But Jacob overshoots the blue.
Jacob misses the blue, but he's going to respawn real close and
Wilchz
as
is struggling.
Wilchz hits the bumper and fumbles around a little bit.
This map is potentially the most frustrating map to play in the game, especially when you are behind. And now
We
trying
have another blue.
Jacob
It's
with
the
a
moving
great
blue.
snipe to capitalize on that one. We've seen a lot of back and forth so far, so it's too early to write Wilchz off from anything, especially with how the last game started. Jacob doubling Wilch's score. Wilchz brought it back within 3 points. It does seem like
leave
a
that
similar
yellow.
story.
Next spawn's right next to Jacob too. Wilchz gonna once again steal away the Mega and the Super Speed. As
Jacob
Jacob
with
goes
a
inside to
very-
grab that expired yellow.
Very interesting power-up change in lines. Wilchz seems to be out of it.
He gets hit by the bumper and falls off. There's only one gem left though, so it's not going to be the most impactful thing.
Good line here for Jacob. Gets 3 of
Very
the
awkward
reds,
with his fans, but
which is good line. Things kind of lining up in front of him. And we're going to be up on the hill. Which is not potentially with the most efficient routing, but he's going to be rewarded for his positioning on the hill again. Jacob basically only going to get the yellow and red at the end there, but we do have another blue. And
Wilchz goes for the super speed and he hits the block and rebounds
Wilchz
backwards.
is just
It's gonna be a
not
bit
taking
late
the
to
time
this
to do
move.
things the right way. He's nervous and he's out of sorts.
Should be able to get this blue though. Very nice blast to secure that blue for himself.
Yeah. 20 points. There's another blue right here next to
Creepy blue.
Wilchz, but he's kind of in the dumps. Jacob could be able to snag that one. Wilchz
Awkward
can't be
edge
feeling
hit for
good.
Wilchz.
Yeah, you can't be feeling good about that. Yeah. If you
Another
ever-
blue. Wilchz, I think, is a little close to this.
does-
Very nice super speed
does grab
blast to
that.
secure it.
Pulls a Donger's taunt out of Jacob for his trouble, and Jacob gonna, as always, be good at time wasting there. Unfortunately, Jacob didn't get that, or Wilchz didn't get that yellow that kind of moved by him.
We'll pick it up
easy,
eventually,
Easy
though.
blue
We have a
pickup here for
blue.
Wilchz. Starting to look attainable.
Yeah, it's within
Another
7
blue. This is
points
such
now,
a
actually.
blue
Another
heavy
blue.
game.
I think
But Wilchz
Jacob's
again.
gonna be a little bit quicker there, and he does make it to that
Wilchz
blue.
again messes up with the power-ups. Has really struggled just being patient and lining up the right move to secure some of these high-value blues, and that's why it's gone 6-3 to Jacob. This game would be incredibly close otherwise, but instead it's going to be Jacob taking this one on Vibrancy grounds. If you ever hate your opponent, make sure to take them here. They will be miserable.
This map is where I overcame my 30-game losing streak to Shadow Visions.
It was miserable. Alright, back to Hillsborough we go then for Wilch's second picks.
And Jacob now up 2-1 in the series. Has to be feeling pretty good now about his chances. And the Wilchz definitely seems a little bit shook on some of these power-ups as well.
Wilch's had 7 super speeds to Jacob's 2, but in terms of super jump, it was definitely all Jacob there. And super jump is the much easier power-up to execute, as we've seen countless times in the open division. Wilchz says he's going back to bed after Jacob wins this next one.
See what Wilchz picks. If he's going to pick a map that he's particularly strong at to try to win this one, or if he's feeling tired and just wants to concede this and pick a random map and not give up a strong map that he might need later in a later series.
Yeah, it's clearly possible for him to win this series. Jacob is playing
Absolutely.
well, but Wilchz is a very good player, and it's not insurmountable. He just needs to get rid of these errors that are creeping in.
He's gonna go for Sprawl.
Yeah, I think he should win that. I've never really known Jacob for being a sprawl player.
That said, Sprawl is the classic map, so pretty much everyone who plays in tournaments has a basic understanding of how to play Sprawl, I feel.
Just waiting on Wilchz again.
Oh, whoops, I just closed my stream. Oh, he just changed it to you. This is a map that definitely power-ups are so incredibly important for navigating the map. And if Wilchz continues to have his struggles with the power-ups and goes a little too quickly, we could definitely see him losing this game forward. But I think if he locks in and really focuses, he has great potential to win and force a game 5.
That's one that we would all love to see. Here we go, on to Sprawl.
Set.
Gotta be looking for the blast from
Go.
Wilchz. I feel like that's a big opportunity for him to gain the upper hand.
He routes for it, but actually doesn't pick it up.
That's good. He saves it for this spawn. He's actually going to continue to save it. Oh, huge blue right off the bat here. And Wilchz can't quite make it. Edge hit. That's devastating. He needs to get the rest of this very quickly. Jacob hits it
Very
with the
interesting Mega Marble, though.
In-
Sends him straight to the next spawn.
Yep. That's
Very
huge
lucky for Wilchz.
He's turned around this bad fortune with the blue. Jacob
Let's
a
go
little
for
bit
the
ahead
yellow,
on this
but-
line. Very close game so far. It's going to be just a 2-point lead for Wilchz. Is coming up first here to the Mazik spawn area of the map. But it's going to be Jacob with a sweep on the 2 yellows. Wilchz again going for that blast default. Has a good super speed ready. Needs to not hit the ramp in the wrong part, and he doesn't. Very well done to avoid that by him. And blast Jacob.
Nice
That's gonna
blast
be
as well.
Huge spawn for Wilchz.
Jacob picks up the gyrocopter and is gonna make his way. Maybe tries to pick up the super speed on the way, but doesn't manage to pick it up. And so Wilchz is gonna get the entire spawn.
Yeah, Wilchz is performing this default beautifully, and I do wonder that if Jacob's love for the helicopter is going to come back to bite him a little bit, but Wilchz feels so much more in his comfort zone. He's making some great plays happen now. He's defaulting well, and he's just generally
We have
quick
a
as
third
the
spawn
spawn
here.
comes back. Yeah, it sucks when that spawn just comes over and over. You can clear it so quickly, and it's so likely to come back. As we now have a blue on the board that Jacob is completely out of place for. And
got
Wilchz,
the
calm and
gyrocopter,
collected,
but
takes
will
his
not pick it
time
up.
finally and gets the blue. We have a massive lead mounting here for Wilchz for what feels like the first time in the series. This spawn's
So
nothing.
we have the best spawn in the game.
Wilchz is going to overshoot
Wilchz
a yellow.
misses the first yellow, but
Jacob not having a power-up just yet, gets the gyrocopter. A great blast by Wilchz. That's what I was
Blast.
talking about. A blastier player like Wilchz can punish this gyro usage and reliance from Jacob. Oh, nicely done
the
with
blast
the
by
super
Jacob,
speed.
a great recovery from Wilchz. As the gyrocopter is gonna run back to get this center blast.
As we see this spawn again, Wilchz has the Ultra Blast advantage. Not sure it connected with Jacob much there, but using the helicopter now. Nice 3-gem sweep. It's halfway through the match, and we have another
We have
blue.
another blue.
Jacob should be able to get the
Jacob's
blue,
got a
but
good
he wants
line
more
for it.
high value.
I think he
Beautifully
does.
set up. Wilchz, I feel like you just needed to let Jacob get the blue and make sure you minimize the losses. That's going to be
He's
something.
gonna pick up 2 more of these yellows.
Wilchz just stopped moving for a second. Not sure what happened there. We
have another blue.
Every blue
See
is
if,
an opportunity.
Jacob-
Oh, the Mega
oh.
comes in for Wilchz, and he's able to control the blast enough to get back up on that blue. If Jacob got that blue, that was the start of some real momentum going his way. I would have been very scared for Wilchz, given what we saw the last couple spawns. Does seem like Wilchz is holding in control for now. He's been doing such a great job this game. It would be heartbreaking for him to not be
A
able to
little
close it
quicker
out.
to the spawn with the Mega Marble.
Under 20 now
That's
is
the
the
entire
lead.
spawn.
Wilchz needs to keep in control, prevent Jacob from mounting too much of a comeback, which is going to bring the next spawn. Love the super speed prep from him. Has the Ultra Blast ready for the gyro.
Ooh,
Conway
Jacob hits him with the Mega.
But the spawn's already gone. Wilchz was able to get most of it. He's going to do his favorite default again, bringing up to his high ground with Blast and super speed ready to go. It should be
Pretty
good
good
for
spawn
him.
for Wilchz, I think. Doesn't manage to
there
get the second
yeah.
yellow, but
Really no need to get fancy there. He could have just been very controlled and gotten the gems. 20 points is easily recoverable on Sprawl in a minute, especially with that blue coming in. Good blast from Wilchz. He misses
oh, he
the super
doesn't.
speed. And suddenly this comeback is looking in the realm of possibility.
Jacob gonna pick up these last few reds. We'll have to leave the last one, but Wilchz denies the super speed, and he noticed that quickly and takes the last red for himself.
Barely makes it over, but Jacob is again going to be in a great position to win this spawn. Lead is now 10.
9 points, but I think they shared that super speed. Jacobs with a good sweep.
Yeah, good
But,
sweep. Wilchz needs to get this yellow value immediately before Jacob can get over here. And it's another blue. This one should be Jacobs with a mega launch and a mega denial. But can he get up? Wilchz has the mega launch. Yeah, and that's big for Wilchz. Doesn't actually connect with Jacob there. Jacob is really fumbling on this spawn. Jacob's had a few good opportunities, but Wilchz has barely been able to close the door. And it's looking set to go to another decisive Game 5. We knew it was quite possible between these two players, and they are delivering.
What a great recovery from Wilchz. Could definitely see his experience on this map with the defaults and great game from Wilchz to force Game 5.
Yep, going to have to see what Wilchz opts for here. Server advantage or map pick. Both are totally fine options when you're on the same continent. Any stats standing out to you from that one?
Let's take a look. Yeah, you can definitely see the blasts and the super speeds way in favor of Wilchz there, and that really gave him the speed that he needed and the melee he needed to secure most of the spawns.
Yeah, Jacob definitely preferring that gyrocopter. You can also see there's a pretty stark difference in who won which spawns. With Mazik getting that 3 yellow, or not the Mazik spawn where the 3 yellow lines, that's where Wilchz was able to get a lot of good spawns. As well as in the corner of the map, where Jacob frequently had to resort to sweeps. But Jacob did much better around the middle of the map.
Mm-hmm. Jacob said he's going to get some water. As we wait to see who's the higher seed here.
It's going to be Wilchz. Jacob had a pretty unlucky pre-seed. I think he's maybe 6th seed in Challenger.
Okay. So Wilchz be able to pick server advantage or draft advantage. Given that, which one do you think he'll pick?
I don't know. I feel like draft advantage is pretty acceptable. They both won one of their own picks and lost one of their own picks.
Looks like he chooses server advantage.
All right, so going to Ash.
Okay, so our 5 maps that have been rolled are Marble Land, Outlook, Promontory, Core, and Basin Hill. Now, a lot of people would look at this and say, wow, this is a terrible selection of maps.
Yeah, I think this is pretty Jacob favored. I have to imagine he's more willing to play the kind of niche maps in the pool like Core and Outlook.
Mm-hmm.
So those are going to have to be must bans for Wilchz, you have to think.
Yeah. So I could see it going to something like Marble Land or Promontory. I think, given Wilchz has already played Basin Hill this season against Surge. Am I correct on that? Right?
I think so. But yeah, Jacob loves Basin Hill as well. Has one of the top scores on the map with a 234, and it's also a map where Wilchz can't outblast him because there aren't any blasts.
Mm-hmm.
Wilchz needs to ban first to kick things off. Yeah, I imagine we end up probably on Basin Hill. I think both players would be feeling decent about their chances on that.
Yeah, I know first ban for Wilchz is probably going to be Core, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Wilchz and don't know anything about what Jacob is likely to ban, though, you could always, play a little bit greedy, see if he's willing to ban Core, and then ban it second if Jacob doesn't opt to do it.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of a game of chicken.
Still waiting for his pick, though.
We've actually seen a good bit of core this tournament so far.
Mm-hmm.
Basin Hill has obviously been a very popular map. I do think it would be the first marble land of the tournament.
I believe so, yeah. Both players taking their sweet time to get back, although I guess it is on Wilchz to ban first. It's not really much Jacob can do right now. Maybe Wilchz went to go take another nap or something.
We'll just started hosting a server of his own. I wonder if he's looking at anything.
Very tempted to ping him on Discord.
Yeah, he's currently in a gem hunt match on Sprawl in his server.
Is he?
Yeah. I don't know if this is his technique to lock in or what, but very, very peculiar. I remember we've jokingly floated the idea of putting a decision timer on the bans before it bans a random map for you.
We just might need it.
Alright, first ban going to be core as expected. If I'm Jacob, I'm probably taking out, yeah, Promontory was going to be my guess.
Mm-hmm.
And now probably Outlook from Wilchz. With how good Wilchz is at the Megas and Blast, there's not really any point to be risking Promontory. Oh, Basin Hill actually taken out by Wilchz. This could be an opportunity to go to Outlook for Jacob, and that is going to be the pick. Which is definitely not a fan of this map.
Yeah, not many are. And, I know he has been very outspoken about that.
Outlook suddenly getting an outsized role in this tournament. Now a decider in a very important match in the Challenger Division here. Remember, these players both have the same score. This could very well be the difference in an entire position or maybe even two in the standings at the end of this, and that's very important in dodging some of the top open league players like Kago and A-Game.
Because we've had many game 5s, and we're adding yet another one today.
Yeah, the era of 3-0s appears to be over. We have a blue right off the bat. This is a tricky one to nail. They're going to both do it. And Jacob immediately goes out of bounds. He knows the double respawn.
Respawn? It does.
It does bring him up top. What's interesting is Wilchz could have actually gone out of bounds and just clicked respawn slower, and that would have given him the same effect without having to respawn twice.
Which is the nice super speed to grab 2 of those yellows there. Jacob maintains a 2-point lead and super speeds up to get to the default with the blasts. It's going to be a great spawn for Jacob.
Actually, a lot of it is
Wilchz,
underground,
actually.
where Wilchz can get it. And then Jacob blasts Wilchz through the floor, I think that was. Will Jacob blast Wilchz away? It looks like no. Wilchz blasts Jacob away instead. And small lead for Wilchz here. Gonna pick up the last red. That's maybe not what he wanted.
Decent
Does
recovery
get up
with the
here.
super speed.
Oh,
But
Jacob is just ahead of him. Yeah, ahead of him to everything. That's gonna be frustrating.
he's got the super jump. Doesn't opt to use it to get up to the default, but
Wilchz is ahead for this spawn. Going to decide against dropping down. And instead goes for the Ultra Blast before Jacob can. So that should be good for Wilchz here. Jacob holding the super jump.
could end up being useful here.
Next spawn is
We have a
right
spawn
next
right
to
next to
Wilchz.
Wilch's.
Jacob gonna go in and get the yellow, and that's gonna be the next spawn. No blue on this one, but both of them are gonna make it over here. Both share the yellow, I think, which is gonna come back, and it's a 1-point game. This is extremely close so far, and we're almost halfway through.
Yeah. Holding on to the super jump still.
Yeah, I mean,
Jacob's gonna opt to go through the tornado
in a
area.
very tense game, you might want to have the super jump ready to go. Next spawn, very good for Wilchz. Deciding to blast Jacob. Fumbling a little bit here, but still should be a good spawn overall for Wilchz. Gonna pick up that last red. Can he find another blast onto Jacob? The answer is yes. He gets that yellow uncontested. That's big. But Jacob kind of outsmarts him a little bit. Gonna go for some of these expireds, which could tie up the game. And with how close this one's looking, this game may well come down to expired gems.
Jacob finally uses the super jump.
Wilchz completely
Which just misses the
miscalculates.
yellow.
Yeah, but it's still going to be there for him to go back, and he can use this tornado to get back up to the top part of the map. Jacob going to actually decide to go into the tornado. He's got completely backwards momentum for this next spawn. Not the best decision on his part there. He's going to have the super jump, though. Wilchz is deciding to go all the way back around to the top here, and that's not going to work out for him. The next spawn is in the water. Wilchz does get a good portion
quite a
of the
bit of it.
reds. Oh, decides to go back. In good position to get
Good
these
line
two
for these two yellows.
Jacob got everything on the interior, though, and it's still a 1-point game. We have expired reds littering the map with under a minute to play. Next one right under Wilchz can land beautifully on that yellow. Grid blast by Jacob to get everything else. Wilchz decides to get the last red. That could be dangerous. And blast Jacob into the tornado, but can't get the yellow.
Does not pick up the yellow.
Does eventually come back around and get it. Going to pick up the last red now. Next spawn is pretty close for both of them, but Jacob in better position. Wilchz is stumbling, hits the wall. 30 seconds to play. Wilchz is maintaining an incredibly slim lead. Margins are very narrow here. Well done to get back up to the top. Where is the next spawn? It's in the pool again. Wilchz again misses the yellow again. Misses the super speed.
This is gonna just about tie it up. Wilchz with the blast now has a 2-point lead. He's gonna kill some time.
Is Jacob gonna go for the expires? Is Wilchz gonna get the last gem here? What's going to happen?
Close. Jacob picks up the yellow. It ties the game.
Ties the game. We have a tie in Game 5. We're going to a Game 6 in this incredible series. Wilchz, he could have just gotten the red in the pit, and that would have been enough to win by 1 point. But he thought Jacob might have time for more, and so he decided that he needed to go for it. And here we are, a replay of Outlook.
Jacob asking if Wilchz needs some more water. It's gonna take a moment, collect himself after that incredibly tense game.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna exit out and try and load another map just for stats purposes to get it to work. Jacob saying he needs a break to pet his cat, which is definitely understandable after that match. Yeah, if you look at the graphs, maximum lead of 6 points throughout that entire game.
Yeah, the margin over time looking extremely thin and blocky. It's something that I feel like we haven't seen before on a chart like this.
Both players had a lead of 6 at some point in that game. Wilchz definitely dominated the blast yet again on that default, but Jacob was able to outplay with some good positioning and maneuverability. How would you be feeling right now?
I would be incredibly scared and nervous. That was already nail biting, and have to imagine Wilchz just feels a little bit upset because he definitely had the opportunity to win at the end there if he had picked up that red, but given that he doesn't like this map at all, having it be that close maybe is a little bit comforting that he has a chance to take this series. And for Jacob, being able to tie that at the last second and not lose the match has to feel pretty good as well.
Yeah, definitely feeling better for Jacob getting the chance to tie that one. They are ready. Here we go, Game 6. Replay on Outlook, the decider. Jacob committing the super speed right away, but that's a dangerous line, and Wilchz is going to take advantage of that.
Kind of fumbling a little bit here too. Jacob is.
Misses the super speed, or super jump. Gonna have to maybe super speed off this ramp, or actually just take the long way. And this is a high value spawn that we didn't see at all, and Wilchz with the edge hit makes it so he can't jump, but Jacob, he falls too!
But Jacob falls off as well.
The nerves are immense, but Wilchz still cannot get up here. The entire thing is going to go for Jacob, despite a fumble on his own part, and we have a bigger lead for Jacob in the first 2 spawns than we saw at all in Game 1. Wilchz wins that spawn, he's gonna tie it back up.
Unable to find, yeah.
Not quite, but undone a lot of the damage.
Jacob was unable to find any of the gems in the last spawn, but it's gonna be right next to this next spawn.
Can they get both of these
Pick
yellows?
up the line for both yellows. Jacob with a nice super speed to get them both and bounces back.
They both shared them, and Wilchz didn't have to commit his super speed. Next spawn again in the tornado. This time Wilchz will use the super speed. Not much gain for either player here.
Jacob with a 9-point lead. Looks like he's gonna go back up to the default.
Jacob in a much better spot. Not gonna be punished terribly much as Wilchz.
Wilchz has a blast. He did not make his way up to the default. So, Jacob still opts to not take that red, even though they're both right next to each other. Jacob's gonna blast him down a little bit.
The blast isn't the end of the world for Wilchz. Actually, you could even argue maybe would have helped him a little bit, but Wilchz is just hitting everything possible at the wrong times. Oh, Jacob this time with an unfortunate corner hit. That's going to knock him off. Spawn is achieved here for both players. Both of them are going to get the blast and blast each other. Wilchz has to commit the super speed, but hits the edge. And that's going to be another big win for Jacob. Not looking great for Wilchz. Nicely done to get to that yellow without being too bouncy. He's not letting it get to him too much right now.
Going back up to the default, doesn't make it up there, but they're going to be pretty close to each other for this spawn.
Nicely done by Jacob to bounce off that wall. They're both going to split 1 yellow here apiece, which should be able to get the super jump, but doesn't really seem interested in it at the current moment.
He'll mix it up with the blast off and jump off of the ramp.
Oh, too late on the blast there for Jacob. It could have been such a good one for Wilchz. And we have a blue. We have a blue on the opposite side of Wilchz, or Jacob rather.
Yeah, Jacob was not in good position to get that blue.
Yeah, Wilchz is going to respawn on the bottom, though. He doesn't know about the respawn tech. And so it's mostly going to be a tied spawn. And this time is running out very quickly. Just having to commit the blast there to get these yellows and reds. Jacob is going to chase a little bit too hard there. A lot of points inside here for Wilchz. Going to be 4. Jacob actually here too. Jacob going to get these 2 yellows. He seems to be much faster in navigating that area of the map. Which is going to overshoot. That's going to respawn him on the orange platform. Jacob gets most of this spawn. Wilchz can't quite connect with the reds.
Both bounce over to past those reds.
Jacob go down into cannot afford to be wasting any more time here. He's just gambling on a miracle, and it comes.
It does, yes. He's going to be able to get almost his entire spawn.
5 points there. Maybe. I mean, I think he still has the Ultra Blast, right? But it does nothing.
Goes for the blast and doesn't do anything.
Yeah, which is really fumbling here. 30 seconds to go. 9 points is the gap. Making up a lot of ground.
That's a super speed. They both get the yellows. They both share both yellows. And that's really good for Jacob.
Which just falls in the pit. Feeling obligated to take that last red. Yeah, this spawn is not what
a very
Wilchz
influential
needs to see.
spawn.
But he will be able to get the rest of it. No, he's going to
Jacob
play
can waste
safe.
some time. He
Lots
gets the last
yellows
red.
in this spawn.
That's
Lots
not
of
good
yellows. Wilchz needs to get almost everything, though. 1 yellow for Jacob, and it's basically
one
done.
Yellow, 1 Jacob.
Yeah, yellow.
And it's over.
Yeah, Jacob gets it. That's going to be a 3-point win for Jacob in an incredible series. That was an absolute nail-biter. the spawn at the start with the 5 yellows that went entirely to Jacob, that's what really gave him the advantage he needed to close this one out.
And
I don't.
he's here.
How you
Holy
feeling,
shit.
Jacob, after that 6 games?
Give me a second. Okay. Well, I tried all my lucky superstitions, and I guess they worked. Let me just kind of go match by match, and then give the overall thoughts. So Megas, obviously the worst one I played. I would say. I literally. There were like 2 or 3 expired gems that I didn't notice were there before, and I thought that was the spawn. And I look back, and it's over there. So that's how I lost that one. And also, I just got some weird power-up combos. Like, the timing was slightly off with the ping. So, I would try to use one, not the other, or vice versa, or use both by accident. I think that's how that weird blue bricks failed skill shot happened. But I think the real turning point was when there was a blue on there, and I got it, fine. And then it was just about to leave, and then it spawned again, and Wilchz barely got it, and that's kind of when the tide turned there. So he played very well on that. Average score margin, 0.5. Dude, that was my match with Robert. It was 0.6.
Yeah. Across
What
6
the hell?
games, incredibly evenly matched.
Alright, I think for the next tournament, we need to mandate that I play Robert and Wilchz again. I mean, if we use the system again, I probably will. But, okay, and then next was Gems in the Road, which I was not remotely expecting. The last time I played that, we didn't have a cat.
Yeah, tell me about that match. You did some really interesting power-up
I
combinations.
was actually really proud of how I played. It just all felt natural. I never felt like I was stressing. I thought I was about to blow it again, but I held my own just barely. Just had some nice change. I'll go back and rewatch it and say more once I can see the specific moments, but yeah. Then Vibrancy, I'm really proud of how I played here. The first 2 minutes are some of the best I've played, like, ever. I had a couple really, really good lines and moments that I don't know if I can replicate again. I kind of laid off the gas at the end, but it didn't really matter. And then Sprawl, I mean, it started, and then those spawns just kept spawning on that area, and I would go to clear and get a power-up or something, which I wasn't great about. I kind of improved the second half, but a bit of an issue. But either way, they just kept spawning up. There were like 4 in a row, so that's when the momentum shifted, and he built such a lead that I just couldn't come back. That blue with like 30 seconds left.
Oh, with the Mega Marble where you kind of fell in that little gap.
Yeah, I thought I had the blast, and I didn't. I was kind of going the wrong way. I would have wanted to go, the up way, but I thought I could, make it, and didn't happen. And there were a few moments like that, but that's the one I remember specifically, and the biggest reason I didn't win or should even tie. So then, Outlook, we tied.
Wait. Let's talk about the draft. Why did you decide to go with Outlook compared to the other maps in the pool?
I haven't played Marble Hand in like 2 months. I'm not good at it.
Interesting.
I've never really been great at it. I think the last time I played it in tourney was Voltage 2 years ago.
And were you worried about Promontory?
Oh yeah, because A, my Priesty was terrible, and B, Wilchz is a mega guy. That was the easiest ban of my life if he hadn't already banned Core.
So you were going to ban Core. I was wondering.
I probably would have gone Prom first because Prom is less even, but yeah. Once I saw that he had banned Core, I knew that I was comfortable with the draft because I wanted one of Outlook or Basin Hill. And
Right.
I got Outlook, which is fine. I played Basin Hill a lot in the last few days, so I was hoping it was that, but I didn't really care. So then Outlook, that first weird spawn with the blue was like tri-level. I don't really think any of us did much with it. This is actually the first game. And he just kind of built like a 5-point lead, and there were such little blues that he never relinquished it. And then I was paying attention to that, being like, okay, if I get a blue, this game's tied. Like, I'm okay with this. But I kind of just got a couple other things and tied it up instead. Right at the end, I saw, can I do this? I thought he was a little closer to that spawn than I thought. but he
Yeah.
wasn't. I think he was going the
He's-
opposite
yeah.
way.
He was waffling between getting
so I
the
got the
last
yellow
red in the
like,
pit or
before
going
it.
to the spawn, and that gave you the opportunity to get the
I'll
yellow.
give more thoughts when I rewatch the recording. Whoever has it, better upload that like ASAP.
Yeah, it'll be me. I got you.
Yeah, it's all good. I figured you would. And then second game, that first spawn I thought was going to be terrible because I screwed it up, but it was like 3 points, so it didn't really matter. And then I built a lead. I think it was off a blue. Or no, it was off the yellow platform.
Yeah, the yellow
which I had a
platform. Both of
perfect
you
angle
fumbled
to,
and fell.
I fell off, and I was like, oh shit, there goes that. But then I realized, where the hell is Wilchz? And I think he was doing something with the super speed. Trying to get up there, which is, I mean, not ideal. I've done it. But, so I get back up there, I clear everything, and I see he gets that red to finish the spawn, and I'm like, okay, this is it. So I think he gets a couple decent spawns, and then I built like a 10-point lead, and I just slowly try to not let it relinquish. And I almost did. I was a little bit worried right at the end. I figured, okay, momentum's in his favor. I'm losing, whatever. But a couple things happened. I don't remember. It was 5 minutes ago. But a couple things happened, and I just won. I don't know. I guess I was never really sure, how I hold up in like super close series, but I'm doing pretty well this season.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of people who kind of fold with that. So I'm glad that
This
wasn't
was
me.
actually-
I just had to take. You go.
This was a very important win for you in terms of the challenger standings because Wilchz had the same exact score as you. And so this is going to potentially matter a lot at the end of the regular season in terms of you getting a better seed.
Well, I don't see. I both would really want to and would really not want to see him in playoffs again. I don't even know if the seeding can shake up like that, but whatever.
Well, there is a lower bracket now, so that would
I
definitely
think
be
I would have
possible.
lost like 3-1 if I didn't take the breaks I did, and I'm sure Wilchz was the same way. That was a fucking gauntlet. My God. Jesus. You brushed an edge?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
can
had a
actually,
few moments
I can actually show you what he did.
on my 2 losses where it's like, why did that happen? What? I'll have to see if I can pinpoint them in the recordings. Okay, let me watch your stream to see what Wilchz is
Yeah,
talking
let's
about.
show you what happened.
Ready, set, go.
So he was actually in a great position to get it. He was already up here.
Oh!
Super speed.
Yeah, and he tried to go here, and he hit that edge, so he couldn't jump.
Oh my God! I am so sorry.
Yeah, and
Jesus.
that would have made
I did
such a
not
huge
know that.
difference.
I thought he was on the bottom floor and he tried to do a super speed off the wall in the ramp.
Yeah, I think he tried that once he fell, but originally he could have just jumped
yeah, because I
here.
thought I saw him do that. Yeah, and then I skidded off the side because I just really wanted to get that line because I thought he was really close, and he kind of was.
Super speed.
Yeah.
One thing, I'm guessing, well, it's just will kind of improve now that you've played this. I think actually the defining thing on that last game was in that middle area, with the ramp and the sides, I was faster getting to the outside to get those yellows on the edge. I did it like 2 or 3 times, and that might have actually been the difference.
You were consistently faster to the double yellow on the outside.
Yeah, I felt like I was kind of slow, like when I was right next to a spawn, and it took me a second to realize, oh, it's right here. What? I don't know. I feel like I've always been like that. I'm not sure what it is.
Oh, Rob's asking me about the spawn tech. Let me show that now. So at the start, you guys had this like I think it was a blue or something, and you knew about the respawn tech. So you ran out of bounds. Wilchz actually went up and around. But if you respawn here twice,
I figured.
it'll
Well,
take you up.
I actually respawned down there, but I just did it again and spawned back up.
Yeah, if you do it over here, you'll go up.
Oh, never mind.
Like this. If you do it on the other side,
that's
you'll
so
go
weird.
down.
Yeah, I don't. Obviously, PCC spawn tech is one thing, but I have not learned a lot of the other levels. There was one I think I played in a tournament recently. I forgot what it was. Maybe it's parkour. Yeah, it was parkour peaks. There's a couple spots that you can do that I didn't know about.
Wilchz is asking if he will even have a chance to make it play-ins. Wilchz, you are already
yeah.
guaranteed to make play-ins
Yes.
just by being in the
Yeah, no, you're
challenger
making
division.
it. I'm already gonna probably play like maybe like the third best player in Open.
Yeah, and Wilchz is probably going to be 6th seed at worst, given I think he's already beaten Surge.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't think you're gonna get A game or KGO.
He will dodge A game, and from here it's about playing to dodge KGO.
And I think he can beat KGO
I think so too.
I think so.
pretty
Yeah.
easily. Like 3-1, I'd say.
Even A game is beatable, but obviously you don't want to have that
A
matchup.
game is tough. We've played a lot of matches, like probably 50 total in the past couple weeks, and he's beat me on like 40 of them.
Wow. Yeah, he's in really good form.
We split like evenly last year, so he's gotten really, really good.
Which is, I tried to just answer, but basically 7th and 8th from Challenger will play each other, the loser will get knocked out, and the winner will play the winner of Open Division, which will either be A
I
game or
think you're
KGO.
pretty much guaranteed to not be 8th, and I think you're guaranteed to not be 7th either, so you're good, like honestly.
Well, Surge or Charlie
And-
could, in theory, start winning, but it's looking very likely
Mhm.
that you'll be 6th at worst.
Also, doesn't he play, Charlie?
I think he's played both Surge and Charlie. I could be wrong.
Okay.
Actually, he's only played one of them. I think he hasn't played Charlie yet.
Okay, that's what I thought, because I remember his Surge match was crazy too. Which,
Super.
I think the exact same thing could happen with Surge.
Yeah.
Maybe not a tie this time, but actually it's funny. I played him in 2022 when I was bad and he was worse, and we tied on the randomizer as well. It was all angles, I remember, and then I beat him by like 10 to win it.
Yeah, that's crazy. You're giving us some great series so far, man.
I don't know what it is. Alright, well,
I'm gonna stop the
watch
recording.
one share, set up.
GG's to both players. Looking forward to
Yes.
your casting later, Jacob.
Such a good series.
Take a good break.